All right, let's look at some examples just using the discriminant, knowing that we have a plus or minus in front of our square root. We want to look at the types of solutions that we have based off of our quadratic equation. So let's go ahead and look at example 1. So example 1, my A is equal to 4. My B is equal to, a sign goes with it, so it's negative 8. And my C is equal to 4. And I'm going to go ahead and create a skeleton of my B squared minus 4A and C. All right, without the root, because I don't need that right now. And I'm going to go ahead and place my numbers. So my B is negative 8. My A is 4. And my C is 4. So in this case, I have 64 minus, now I have 3 4s. 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4 is 64. So 64 minus 64. This gives me 0. And the square root of 0 is still 0, right? So this has one real solution. All right, let's go ahead and look at example 2. So A is equal to 10. B, my x term, is equal to 6. And C is equal to 0. Okay, I have no C. All right, going ahead and creating my skeleton. So I could just place my numbers. And I have B squared, so 6 minus 4 times A is 10. C is 0. That means this whole piece goes to 0, which means I have 36. And the square root of 36 is 6. And negative 6, because remember it's a plus or minus. So those are my two real solutions for this equation. All right. Example 3, we'll look over here. We got A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to 2. Now please go ahead and try these on your own beforehand if you want, before you watch me solve these. All right, so go ahead and create my skeleton. And B is 3. A is 2, and C is 2. Okay, so I have 9 minus 16. Right, this gives me negative 7. And so my solution is plus or minus the square root of negative 7. This gives me 2 non-real solutions. All right, example 4 here. I go ahead, I got A is equal to 2, B is equal to negative 3, C is equal to 2. Create my skeleton. Notice I do that every time, so I just plug my numbers in. B is negative 3, A is positive 2, C is positive 2, and I have 9 minus 16 here. Oh, well, look, it seems like I got the same type of thing as I did before. This is still equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 7, which is still 2 non-real solutions. So I had the same numbers, but a different signs on negative on a 3 didn't make a difference in this case. Now it would if it was different, if perchance that one of my A's was my C was negative. Let's look at that real quick before we move on. All right. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to change my equation slightly. And now I'm going to go ahead and make that a minus 2. Which means now my C is negative 2. And so when I plug it in, that would have to happen. Now it's not going to change the value of my b squared, that's still going to be 9, minus, but now I have 4, and let's take the minus with it, times 2, which is negative 8. And negative 8 is going to be times a negative 2, which is going to give me at this point a positive 16. So now I have 9 plus 16. All right. So 9 plus 16 will give me, 25. And I have plus or minus the square root of 25, which is equal to plus or minus 5. So it does make a difference about where your signs are. And you got to be really careful when you go ahead and put those signs in there. All right. Excellent. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. At least I think I have a couple more. Yes, I do. So x squared is equal to negative 4. Now remember, we want our quadratic to be equal to 0 every single time. So what that means is I have to go ahead and move this 4 over to be with the x so that I have 0 on one side of the equation. That leaves me with x squared plus 4 is equal to 0. And we know from factoring that this particular equation does not factor. Our a is 1, our b is 0, and our c is positive 4. I'm going to create my skeleton. Oh. Sorry. All right. My b is 0, and what's going to happen is this piece is just not going to exist. All right, my a is 1, my c is 4, which leaves me under the radical negative 16. And because it's under a square root, this is going to give me 2 non-real solutions. And I can't do anything with that. Right, the last one here, I want to go ahead and move that 6 over. So add 6 to both sides. X squared minus 7x plus 6 is equal to 0 is my new equation. My a is 1, my b is negative 7, and my c is equal to 6. Create my skeleton. Plug my values in. So b is negative 7, a is 1, c is 6. All right, and I have 49 minus 6 times 4 is 24. That one doesn't give me anything else. And 49 minus 24 is equal to 25, which means I have plus or minus the square root of 25. So plus or minus 5 are my 2 values. And I have 2 real solutions. So go ahead and try the practice problems, and I will see you in the next video.